just as on land, when you go out on a boat, you want to know where you are. You don't want to get lost. You don't want to run into anything. The tools of what's called navigation or piloting are many, and I'll look at some of them here. First, you have a tide book that tells you what the tide and the tidal currents are for any day of the year. There's a cruising guide. Almost every part of the country has one that gives some advice on where to go and what navigation hazards there are. There is a government publication called a light list that lists all of the lighthouses and buoys that you'll find in an area. The most important of these publications is the famous nautical map known as a chart. This is a chart for Fisher's Island Sound, which is near where we are in Stonington, Connecticut. And there is a guide to this chart, to all the symbols and complicated combinations of maps, numbers, and colors that are on a chart. And that is called Chart Number 1. It's published by NOAA, the same organization that publishes the charts. And it gives you a key to all the symbols. Normally, when using a chart, you'll be working with a pencil. Today, just simply for clarity, we'll be working with marking pens. The advantage of a pencil, of course, is that you can erase it and you can come back and use the chart again. The two basic tools for using a chart are, first of all, a plotter. This is one kind of plotter called parallel rulers, in which you're able to take compass courses and headings from a part of the chart called the compass rose, which duplicates the compass, the magnetic compass that's in the cockpit. You can, using the plotter, take those directions and apply them to any part of the chart. The second tool that's important for using a chart are dividers. The dividers measure off distances, so you can determine the distance to your destination and to other objects on the chart, and by using your speed through the water, you can determine how long it's going to take you to get there. There are other kinds of tools for plotting besides the parallel rulers and the dividers, but these are the most popular ones and the ones that I recommend using because they're the simplest. Before you start off on a cruise, you should sit down in the morning and take a careful look at the chart you'll be using for the waters that you'll be sailing in that day. One of the first things you want to do is identify your starting point and your destination. Today we're starting at Stonington, Connecticut, and we're ending up at West Harbor, on the western end of Fisher's Island, New York. Now, when you look at the chart, you should be very careful to identify the hazards you'll be encountering during the day. The hazard that a sailor worries most about is shoal water, very shallow, rocky water in which the boat might run aground. The boat we're in today draws only 6 feet, which means that any water that is shallower than 7 feet or so is probably dangerous. You've got to stay away from water like that. It's a good idea to identify very shoal areas with a red marking pen, as I'm doing here. Shallow water is clearly identified by buoys, and those buoys are represented on the chart. And the chart also shows very shallow water in light blue colors, whereas deep water is shown in white. Now, after you've done that, you should fold the chart up so it's convenient to use on the chart table, making sure that the area that's important to you is still visible. Now the chart is a shape that we can use quite easily. Once you've folded up the chart, it's a good idea to plot the courses and the distances on the way out to your destination. So let's do that now.